Hello everyone, my name is Marah, and today's case is about Patrick Chapman, who was 34 years old when he went missing from Mill Spring, Missouri in 2020. Just want to remind everyone I try my very best to do all the research that I can and get the most accurate information. And I only hope to pass this information along to help Patrick be found. But let's go ahead and get into today's story. Patrick Norman Chapman was born on February 24th of 1986. He was a dad to an 11-year-old boy named Jackson and was said to be a very loving dad who kept in touch with his son. Patrick was living in St. Charles, Missouri and was working as a tow truck driver. He did not have a permanent residence. It was said he would camp or stay with friends. In 2011, Patrick and his wife of 6 years, whose name is Jen Newberry, got divorced. But they did remain friends and continued to co-parent their son Jackson together. And on May 10th of 2020, Patrick sends a text to Jen and tells her Happy Mother's Day. He also asks her if he can come over and use their son's laptop because there was some money missing from his account. He also mentioned how he was trying to view his bank account on his phone, but for whatever reason, it was not working. And Jen says this is okay, so later that morning, Patrick arrives at her house in St. Charles, Missouri. But they end up getting into a fight because she felt as though Patrick was accusing their son of taking this money from his bank account. It was said then that Patrick left their home confused and upset. So that same day, since he would kind of go over and stay wherever he could, Patrick goes and he stays with friends Rick and Melissa Gideon that live in Mill Spring, Missouri, which is about 3 hours or so away from where Jen and his son lived. And how Patrick would stay different places, it was said that he would occasionally go and stay in their shed. He arrives at 10 p.m. and planned on staying the night over at their house. Him and Rick talk for a while, and then Patrick goes out to the shed to go to sleep. Not too long after Patrick laid down in the shed, he comes back to the house, asking Rick for a gun for protection because he heard people shooting next door. Rick says he then went outside to see if he could hear any gunshots, and he did not hear any. So he tells Patrick to go ahead and go back to the shed and get some sleep. So that's what Patrick does. And the next morning, Rick wakes up around 4 to leave for work. And he notices that Patrick's vehicle is gone, and when he checks the shed, that Patrick is also nowhere to be found. But May 29th, his burgundy 1995 Ford Escort wagon was found with severe damage to the bumper and all four tires were flat. It was located on a four-wheeler path in a wooded area of Mark Twain National Forest that was near Mill Spring Cemetery. This is less than 2 miles from where he was staying in Mill Spring, Missouri with his friends, and is a very rural area and has little to no cell phone service. Patrick's wallet, his ID, and his bank cards, and also his medication were all found in his vehicle. But his car keys and his cell phone were not in the vehicle, and his wallet also had no cash in it. I also seen different dates for when he was officially reported missing, but the one that I guess seen the most, I mean, it was between May and June, but this one was May 30th of 2020. His friend reported Patrick missing at Wayne County Sheriff's Department. And I'm not really sure why it took so long for him to be reported missing. My assumption is that he would stay so many different places and he wasn't in one place too long. So maybe after a little bit, everybody's like, wait a minute, have you heard from him? And then they're like, no, I haven't heard from him. And they kind of put two and two together and realized that nobody had spoke to him for a while. Also, I guess too, when they found the vehicle and there was no sign of him, they were probably like, whoa, something probably happened to him because he would never just leave without letting his son know where he was going. I'm also thinking that Rick probably mentions that Patrick was supposed to stay overnight, and when he woke up to go to work, that he was nowhere to be found. Authorities say they found no evidence of foul play in his disappearance, and Patrick's family, though, does believe that there is some type of foul play that's involved. His bank account also has not been used since he disappeared. Patrick's family does not believe he would commit suicide or that he would run away. And in July 2021, the Gideon residence was searched. His family has spent multiple hours searching for him in the Mark Twain National Forest, and his case remains unsolved. And as you can see in this picture, this is a very rural area with lots of trees. And I have this quote from his ex-wife, Jen. She says, "Every time we come home from a search, this is what breaks my heart. When I walk in the door and I can't say, 'Hey, buddy, we found him,' to their son, Jackson." And Jackson, who's now 13 years old, says he hasn't given up hope. He even spent Christmas Eve searching for his dad. And that just breaks my heart that this poor young man is having to sit here and worry about what happened to his dad and having to wait all this time to get any type of answers. And with that being said, if you know anything about where Patrick could be or remember any type of small detail, please speak up. It's not fair to have this family sitting around waiting and wondering where their loved one is. There is a $5,000 reward for information leading to Patrick Chapman's discovery. His family has also adopted a highway in St. Charles County, Missouri, in his honor. The family is also raising money to hopefully be able to hire a private investigator. And I will link that GoFundMe down below. And if you can donate anything to this cause, please do. But thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And I will see you all next time.